NCAA college basketball totals for Tuesday, November 22nd. Don't forget to check out SBR for the sign-up bonuses at several sports books. Be sure to check out, the sportsbook review list, which are the reputable books, which books not to join, all the odds, all the numbers. It's all there at SBR, so be sure to check that out. Let's go ahead and let's dive right in. We got three totals we're going to look at today in college basketball. The first one up here, we got Arkansas traveling to take on Minnesota. Big total here of 156. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm back over the total here. So far, Minnesota this year, they've been putting up a lot of points. Arkansas loves to run under Mike Anderson. I think they're going to do that tonight. Let's go ahead and let's break down some numbers here. So far in the season, Arkansas, they're averaging 84 points per game. Minnesota's averaging 85.5 points per game. As well, you got Minnesota giving up about 71 points per contest. Arkansas, they're giving up 71.7. What I like about this game now, both percentage-wise, defensively, they've both been solid. Richard Pitino's done a pretty good job with Minnesota so far this year. Well, I mean, they're undefeated. Arkansas is going to be really good in the SEC. Last year, they were third in scoring and third in points per possession. And they got some returners. This is a good Arkansas team. The tempo, what I like for both these teams tonight, is going to be fast. Both of them get up 60 attempts per game, but they both allow more than 60 attempts per game, with Minnesota allowing opponents to get up 67 attempts per game, and Arkansas allowing opponents to get up about 63 attempts per game. So that tells me they want to get out, and they are going to run, and I think that's going to happen tonight. Minnesota, they're shooting about 48% on the year. Arkansas, they're shooting about 48% on the year. Now, Arkansas, from distance, they're shooting 44%. So, if Minnesota doesn't defend the perimeter, they're going to lose tonight. But at the end, though, I think we're going to see a fast game. So I like for both these teams to get up and down the floor and for us to get over the 156. A little bit of pause that Arkansas is traveling. It's their first road game, but I still like over the total in this one. All right, next one up, we got Purdue and Utah State. Odds makers have it at 149. Game's in Mexico. I'm going to go back under the total in this one. Both teams can score. Now, Utah State, they have their new coach, second-year guy, he was an assistant under Stu Morrell. That guy was a fantastic coach for Utah State, by the way. I think it's Durea is his last name. They're decent. They'll be in probably middle of the pack of the Mountain West this year. So far, Matt Painter and Purdue, they look really solid. They're averaging 83 points per game. You got Utah State averaging 83.3 points per game. So, but yeah, odds makers have said at 149. Well, there's a good reason for that is Utah State's allowing just 63.7 per contest. Purdue's allowing about 67 points per contest. Both teams can play defense. Now, percentage-wise, they can both score. Utah State's been very efficient. They're shooting 51.4% from the field. That ranks in the top 25. But they're facing Purdue tonight, and Purdue's no joke. Purdue's shooting about 49% from the floor. But on the other end, you got Utah State. They're allowing opponents to shoot 35%. Purdue's allowing opponents to shoot 39%. So, at the end, you got the tempo. Both teams get up about 57 attempts per game. They do allow a bit of tempo, which gives me a little bit of pause. But this being on a neutral floor, and 149, that's a lot of points. I don't think they're going to get there. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to back under the total in this matchup with Purdue and Utah State. I've always liked Utah State with Stu Morrell when he was there, and the assistant. He kind of runs the same. They've run so many different sets, very interesting offensive sets. Very fun team to watch, and a really good home court actually as well. But tonight on a neutral floor, I'm going to go back under the total with Purdue and Utah State under the 149. All right, last one up, we got Indiana versus Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne. Odds makers have it at 164. I think this is going to be an absolute track meet, so I'm going to back over the total of 164. You got Indiana averaging 96.7 points per game. Of course, they had that overtime game with Kansas, but they get up a ton of a ton of attempts. And they allow a ton of attempts. This is just going to get up and down all night. Both teams can shoot the three. And this is Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne. They're picked to be right at the top of the summit. This is one of the best teams they've had in a while. So look for them to be able to score. They're at home tonight. This is going to be a great game, actually. Indiana better not sleep on them. Right now you got Indiana, Purdue. They're averaging 78 points per game. But then you got Indiana, Purdue giving up 82.7 points so far this year. Now, Indiana, they're allowing just 75. Overall, but what you're talking about, this is such a, there's only been a few games, so the statistics as far as that scoring and stuff like that doesn't really matter. But percentages, I think we get a better idea of what these guys are about. You got Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne allowing 47.6% in opponents' overall shooting percentage. That is not good. Indiana's better at 39%. That's still not that. Well, that's pretty good. You can't really complain about that. Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, they're shooting almost 45% from the floor. And they're at home, so that's good for them. And they're shooting about 38% from distance. That's solid. Indiana, They are shooting, 58% overall. That's 15th in the country, and they're shooting over 44% from distance. So the way I look at it tonight, they get up a lot of attempts and they give up a lot of attempts. Both of them give up. Purdue, Fort Wayne, it gives up about 64 attempts per game, and Indiana's giving up 65. This is going to get up and down. I think this is going to get up and down. As well, a problem for Indiana Purdue tonight is because of Indiana's really good perimeter shooting. Right now, they're allowing opponents to shoot 42% from distance. So Indiana should be able to score with Indiana Purdue. I believe they're going to be able to score. It's really hard to say that, by the way. Indiana Purdue. Maybe I should just call them Fort Wayne. But I like for this to get over the total. This looks like a track meet to me, so I'm going to go ahead and back the over and look for Tom Crean to not sleep on a mid-major Indiana Purdue and for them to come in and fire away. And I think Fort Wayne's going to be able to do that as well. All right, quick breakdown again. We got a quick recap. Arkansas, Minnesota over the 156 with Mike Anderson and Richard Pitino and what I think is going to be a really up-tempo affair. Purdue and Utah State under the 149, neutral court, two good coaches. And finally, Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, and Indiana over the 164, and a game I think is going to be an absolute track meet. Those are our 3 college basketball picks. Don't forget to check out SBR, and I wish you luck on your picks today.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.